All right. Don says that's absurd. I think he's talking about our barbecue. I'm just kidding. He's not talking about our barbecue. All right. Today I am going to show you how we make Grandma Fanchon's barbecue sauce. This is Granny Fanchon. This would be my mom's recipe. And I remember when we went to the Black Hills and visited Grandma one year, she was making this barbecue sauce, and I know she had it on the stove, but we like sat there and ate the whole darn thing, I think, before it ever got done. It was so good. So anyway, Grandma gave me her recipe. It's her secret recipe, and there's a story behind the secret recipe, but I'm not going to tell you the secret because it's funny. It's kind of between the family. But anyway, I took Grandma's recipe and I modified it for hormone eating, because when you guys go to the store and you look at barbecue sauce, one of the first ingredients you're going to see in barbecue sauce is high fructose corn syrup that they use to sweeten. So that said, I decided to kind of hack Grandma's barbecue sauce recipe, and I went to the store, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll have the recipe on the description for what she wrote down for me as one serving, which one batch of this she's got is 2 of these cans of the 29 ounce of tomato sauce. So I'm using tomato puree. This is USDA non-GMO. It also is in the non-BPA lining can. So it's a little bit more expensive, but I bought it. It's fine because I would rather spend a little bit more money and get a better quality and get what's not going to interfere with throwing my hormones into a whack. So I got this. I'm actually doing 3 cans of this because I'm actually going to try to make a bunch, because we're trying to get our old barbecue sauce out of here and use Grandma's healthy version. Well, I made it healthy. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm dumping the cans in here first. And I got all this at my local grocery store. I know that Hunt's tomatoes and cans have gone to BPA free, so you may check those out. And then I have seen, this brand was called Muir Glen, M-U-I-R, Glen, G-L-E-N. So I found that in the organic section of the grocery store. Alright, I'm getting tomato sauce everywhere. Tastes good though. That's actually tomato puree. Tomato sauce, tomato puree. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, the recipe calls for soy sauce. Well, I don't want to use traditional soy sauce because it has the bad things in it as far as soy is concerned. Remember, we talked about how soy can be, it's naturally and genetically modified in America, and it is terrible for men. It will kill men's testosterone. Women can tolerate it a little bit better than men can. Men can't really at all. It totally makes them estrogenic. So if you love your man, don't buy soy sauce. So the best replacement that I have is liquid aminos. You can find this in about every grocery store now. Walmart has it. All local grocery stores, it seems, now has it. So it's a good natural soy sauce alternatives. The ingredients in here is vegetable protein from non-GMO soybeans. This is the best we're going to do to get away from soy. This is your best option. So it's okay. So the recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup of soy. So I'm going to put it in here. I'd already measured it out. So we got that. And then I've got Worcestershire sauce, which is here. I stood in the grocery store yesterday and I was going through all the Worcester ones that they have. All the brands. French's, I think Hunt's. This one is Leah Purin's soy sauce. I was going through and like with this one too, I'm not happy with all the ingredients in any of them. I couldn't find an organic one. So I had to find the best one possible because so much of them are made with high fructose corn syrup and everything. So this one had the least amount of ingredients, and I was going between it and I think French's, and I just decided on this one. But there's distilled white vinegar in this, molasses, sugar, which I'm not a fan of that, but the sugar is 1 gram per teaspoon. And I think I put in, I have to use like 2/3 of a cup. So there you go. So, I mean, I can't get around it, but it is what it is. And it's not like we're going to be eating this all every day. But this, if you're going to have barbecue sauce, this is going to be the best way to do it. So, anchovies, garlic cloves, and chili pepper. So, I had already measured it in my coffee cup. So, I'm adding it in here. Like that. The recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar. I think brown sugar is what Grandma had. But I'm using sugar in the raw today because I had some different ones in there. And this one I needed to try to get used. But this is sugar in the raw, turbinado cane sugar, non-GMO. I'm only using a cup because I'm only going to use a cup. And then I can go from there and taste. So I'm going to pour that in. You know, it's better than cane sugar. It's better than high fructose. So that is my best alternative that I can use. And then I have liquid smoke. Grandma says a tablespoon. I like liquid smoke. And I think I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to take the wrapper off this. But liquid smoke, at least where I live, I didn't see any kind of organic version of it. But the ingredients on this is just water and natural hickory smoke concentrate. So anyway, she calls for a tablespoon for 2 of those cans, and I don't measure. When it gets down to this stuff, I'm doing it on taste, and I know that we like it, so I'm probably going to do like that for now. I got all this stuff in, and then you're going to add in some black pepper. I think it's called for a tablespoon. And then that's pretty much Grandma's recipe. I think she had chili powder in there. Let me find the chili powder. I forgot the chili powder. Chili powder, where are you? There you are. I like mine spicy, so I add in the chili powder, cayenne pepper, because I like a sweet and spicy. Like, my favorite right now is that Sweet Baby Ray's, even though it's not the best for you at all. But it's the sweet and spicy barbecue, so I'm going to make mine sweet and spicy. And then I'm adding in some paprika. So my paprika is organic. I'm still using up my spice rolled cayenne pepper. This is black pepper, chili powder. And then there is a smoke seasoning that you can get. I have not been able to find it at my grocery store. So that would be, I think, one of the last ingredients on Grandma's recipe. I know it is because I saw it. But this is barbecue spice. I'm using that instead of the hickory spice because I couldn't find hickory spice yesterday. So that said, I'm going to get this open. Oops. And it calls for a little bit, so I'm going to throw a little bit of that in there. And this is where I'm going to start. Oh, wait. I forgot salt. I forgot salt. We need salt. I'm using kosher salt today. So just throw in there some salt in there to start. And then you're going to cook this on low for like 3 hours and constantly stir it because it'll stick on the bottom. So I'm going to get this going on my little range here. And you're going to start smelling it. The recipe says to kind of get it going where it'll start to kind of boil a little bit and then turn it down and simmer it. The simmering will break down that sugar and all the spices will start marinating together and it'll smell really good. And so what do I do after this? After 2 or 3 hours of this, then I put it in cans. So I have the big cans or jars, not the cans. I put it in glass jars. My big glass jars, I need to clean them. They're in that little fridge, but I'll use these and I'll fill them up and then I'll let them cool down and I'll lay the over it, and then I will just let it naturally suction. Grandma puts them in boiling water in a pot, and she will boil the glass for a couple minutes, and then take it out, and then lets it seal up and cool down over a towel, and then she's got them canned. I kind of cheat, because we eat a lot of barbecue sauce, so I'll put it in here, and this will be hot. I'll put the seal over it, let it naturally seal, let it cool down, and store it. So be careful if you are pressure cooking with these things, so it's not going to explode on you. You don't need anything like that. So anyway, that is Grandma's barbecue sauce recipe. and we are going to make some barbecue sauce. If you try this recipe, let me know. But this is just a better way and a more natural way to make barbecue sauce rather than buying it in the store. And when you can make it with ingredients that you know, you can eliminate a lot of the things that are going to interfere with your hormone health. So I know it's easier to grab it off the shelf, but if you've got a day like I've got a day to be able to mess with this, this is the best way to do it. So anyway, get your barbecue sauce ready for your spring and your summer and all that stuff, and I will talk to you guys later.